Morning to all. So today topic syntax directed translation scheme. So already we discussed about for last class in third module what is intermediate code generation, then what are the intermediate code generation forms. So we are having for three forms: syntax tree, next thing postfix notation, 3 address code, abstract syntax tree, postfix notation, 3 address code. Okay. So what is abstract syntax tree? You got to construct the, as usual for the parse tree construction, you got to draw for the syntax tree format. So in that abstract syntax tree, we got next one is tag representation, TAG. So tag representation means directed acyclic graph. Directed acyclic graph. So based on that, you have to construct for the representation. So what is tag? It's a common sub-expression in the given expression is called tag. Common sub-expression in the given expression is called tag. Okay. So based on the syntax tree, based on the input string, we have to evaluate for the parse tree construction. So that is called tag. So here it is one type of syntax tree format only. So based on the common expression, you have to consider the operator will be considered for the given string. So that is directed cyclic graph. Okay. Then notation. Its post-order tree traversal technique is called postfix notation. That is Polish notations. Then 3 address code. 3 address code means 2 operand, 1 for operator. 2 operand, 1 for operator. That is nothing but 3 address code. So in that 3 address code, we are having lot of types of 3 address code statements. One is address assignment statement, assignment instruction, copy statement, assignment statement, assignment instruction, copy statement, unconditional jump statement, conditional jump statement, then indexed assignment statement, pointer statements. It's correct. So these are all the assignment statement of the 3 address code. These are all the assignment statement of the 3 address code. Okay. So here after that in a 3 address code we are having for what are the intermediate representation of the types of intermediate representation mean you can use for the 3 things. You can use for the 3 things, 3 types. So in that type we are having for 3 types. One is quadruple, another one is triple, third one is indirect triples. So what is quadruple? So based on the given expression, you got to draw construct for the 3 address code. So in the 3 address code is 2 for operand, 1 for operator. 2 for operand, 1 for operator. So quadruple mean we are having for 4 field operator, argument 1, argument 2. Then last one is result. Last one is result. Okay. So quadruple operator mean, so based on the expression, you got to construct for the 3 address code. 3 address code. After that, 3 address code mean you got to be with the temporary variable you got to use for 3 address codes. Okay. So similar that you got to produce the table for operator, argument 1, argument 2, result. The 4 field with the help of 3 address code, you can construct for the tables with the 4 field. Next thing, triple. Triple we are having for 3 field. Operator, argument 1, argument 2. So in the triple, we are not using for the result field. So what we'll do, in quadruple, you are using for temporary variable for creating the 3 address code. But in triple, we are not using the temporary variable. You have to avoid the 3 temporary variable. Instead of temporary variable, you have to assign for each and every temporary variable. We got to use for the some pointers 0, 1, 2, 3. You got to use for the each and every temporary variable. You got to use for the some pointers. Okay. So in that pointers only you have to, instead of triple 3 address code, you have to use for the pointers. That is for triple. So in triple we are not using for the temporary variable. The no result also not available for the temporary variable. So what about the indirect triples? What about indirect triple? So indirect triples mean it is nothing but indirect triple mean instead of triple we are using for temporary variable we got to use for 0, 1, 2, 3. So in that 0, 1, 2, 3 pointer, you have to use for some other point, some other values. For 0 mean you got to use for 11, 1 mean 12. So instead of 0, 1, 2, you got to use for the some other values. That is indirect triples. So same as triple value, but instead of triple value you are using for temporary variable 0, 1, 2, 3. Instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, you got to use for some other value into the table. That is called indirect triple. So in 3 address code representation, we are having for quadruple, triple, indirect triple, quadruple, triple, and indirect triples. Okay. So this is for the types of 3 address code statements: quadruple, triple, indirect triples. Okay. So after that, next one is, what is the next one? So in the next concept, intermediate code generation, we are using for the next one is types of 3 address code statement. Okay. So next one you have to use for the syntax directed translation scheme. Syntax directed translation scheme. Syntax directed translation scheme. So what is syntax directed translation scheme? So we are using for the attributes grammar. So in that expression, syntax directed translation means it is a generalization of context free grammar. So based on the given expression, you have to construct for the context free grammar. So in that context free grammar, we are having for some set of production rules as well as semantic action. Production rule as well as semantic action. So based on the production rule, you have to associate it with some semantic rules. So it is a context free grammar. It's a generalization of context free grammar. Each grammar you have to assign for some production rule. The production rules can be associated with some semantic action. The production rule can be associated with some semantic action. So how to write for the semantic action? So for example, L tends to E and mean you have to print the values. E tends to E plus 2. So see, this is for the grammar, context free grammar. Based on the grammar, it will be indicate for the production rule. The rules will be associated with some semantic action. So based on the given rule, you have to write for some semantic actions. Okay. So semantic rule, it is dependency between the attributes. So the attribute can be represented in the form of dependency graph. The attribute can be represented in the form of dependency graph. So in the semantic attribute, synthesized attributed grammar, we are having for 2 types. One is synthesized attributes, another one is inherited attributes. Synthesized attributes, another one is inherited attributes. So what is synthesized attributes? What is inherited attributes? So synthesized attributes mean the attribute is said to be synthesized mean if it value of your parse tree of the node is determined from the attribute value of the children of the nodes. So you have to construct the parse tree based on the given context free grammar for the synthesized attributes. The node is determined from the attribute value of the children of the nodes. The value can be determined the attributes value of the children of the nodes. Okay, that is synthesized attribute. Similarly, you have to check for the given example, given context free grammar. This is for production rule, this is for semantic action. So based on the production rule, semantic action, you got to construct the parse tree for synthesized attributes. That parse tree is nothing but called annotated parse tree. So you got to construct the parse tree based on the children of the nodes. Okay, based on the children of the nodes. So here you can check this parse tree is nothing but annotated parse tree. Annotated parse tree. So the process of you got to computing the parse tree for the given context free grammar, the attribute value of the node is annotating the attribute value of the node is annotating or decorating the given parse tree based on the given context free grammar. Now the terminal can have synthesized attribute but not inherited attribute. So each and every terminal we are having for synthesized attribute but not for inherited attributes. The parse tree showing the value of attributes at each node is called annotated parse tree. The parse tree showing the value of attributes at each node is called annotated parse tree. The parse tree showing the value of attributes at each node is called annotated parse tree. So here you can check the production rule. This is for the given context free grammar, that is for the production rule. Then you have to similar that the production rule can be associated with the given semantic action. So based on the production rule, you have to write for the given semantic actions. Okay. So how to construct for the given annotated parse tree? So based on the given context free grammar, the value of the attribute at each node is called unthreaded parse tree. Unthreaded parse tree. Here you can check for the given expression is input string is 3 star 4 plus 5n. This is for input string. So based on the given input string, you have to draw the unthreaded parse tree. This is for unthreaded parse tree. How to draw for the unthreaded parse tree? For the given production rules and semantic action. So the production rule is nothing but context-free grammar. The context-free grammar can be associated with the semantic action. So based on the given rules and semantic action, you have to draw for the parse tree construction. That is nothing but annotated parse tree. Okay. So similar that you have to draw for the parse tree constructions. Parse tree construction. Okay. So what is a parse tree here? 3 star 4 plus 5n. 3 star 4 plus 5n. So here in star and plus, what is the highest precedence for the given grammar? Star is the highest precedence. So 3 star 5 in 3 into 5 is 15 plus 2. So 3 into 4 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. So what is the last answer? The answer will be for 17 values. So here you can check. Based on the parse tree, you have to give the context-free grammar. So what is here? F tends to digit. The digit can be F. The F can be changed to T. It's correct. Similar that you have to check. ID is digit. Digit is 3. So the digit can be changed to F. So what is F? F is 3. So the F can be changed to again T. So what is T? T is 3. Again check. 3 will be completed. Next you can go for 4. Digit is 4. So digit can be changed to F. F is 4. So what is T is 3. Here F is 4. So T into F mean T. It's correct. You can check. T star F will be equal to T. T star F will be equal to T. Similar that you have to write. T star F will be equal to T. T star F will be equal to T. So T into F is 12. Okay. Similar that you have to check for in right side of plus 5. So ID is 5. ID can be changed to 5. F is 5. F can be changed to 2. T also 5. So what is T? T is equal to E tends to T. So T can be changed to E. T can be changed to E. So here F can be changed to T. So what is E? E is 12. T is 5. So E plus T mean E plus T is nothing but E. So E plus T is nothing but E. So 12 plus 5 will be equal to 17. So how to print? So L tends to E into N. So what is the value for here? 3 into 4 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. So based on the given input string for the context-free grammar associated in the production rule, you have to draw for the parse tree construction. This parse tree construction is nothing but called annotated parse tree. Annotated parse tree. Okay. So similar that you have to check for the another example. So how to draw the annotated parse tree? For the given context-free grammar, based on the context-free grammar only, you go to do for the annotated parse tree constructions. Okay. So next thing, what is inheritance attributes? So first one is synthesized attributes. So based on the parse tree, you go to draw the node from the children of the node to the given construction. But here in inherited attribute, it is not children of the nodes. It is the parse tree node is determined in terms of attributes at the parent or sibling of the node. Either parent or sibling of the node. But in synthesized attribute, it is purely based on the children of the nodes. But in inherited attributes, the value of the parse tree, the node is determined in terms of attributes of the parent or sibling of the node. Okay. Here the attribute can be, but in synthesized attributes, everything is the terminals. Here you can check the attribute can be either string, number, type, memory, location, or anything else. But each and every attribute, it is parent or sibling of that node. So here check D tends to TL. So T mean T and L is sibling of the nodes. So L mean L is in T of type. So what is T dot type? T dot type is either real or integer. Either real or integer. So D tends to TL. TL is, it is sibling of that node. It is sibling of that node. Okay. So L, it is sibling of T. L is sibling of T. So L in T dot type. L in T dot type. So what is T dot type? T dot type is either real or integer. either real or integer. So T dot type is either real or integer. T dot type is either real or integer. Okay. So here you can check L tends to L1 comma ID. So L tends to L1 comma ID. So L1 is L tends to L1 comma ID or L tends to ID. L can be either identifier or some L in add type of identifier. Okay. So here for inherited attributes. Okay. This is for the context-free grammar. So context-free grammar can be associated with some production semantic action. So inherited attribute means it is the attribute of the parse tree of the node is determined from the parent or sibling of the node. Parent or sibling of the node. Okay. Here check. What is a given thing? So here the problem is real of x comma y comma z. The problem is real of x comma y comma z. So here, what is inherited attributes? It is parent or sibling of that node. Okay. So here check the production role is D tends to TL. T tends to TL. T tends to TL. So here T tends to TL. So here what is T? T in type is either real or integer, but based on the input string, it is real. Based on the input string, it is real. Okay. Then L. So T tends to real proved. Next thing, x comma y comma z. So what is L? L is L1 comma ID. L is L1 comma ID, another one is ID. L is L1 comma ID or another one is ID. Here you can check. Based on the input string we are having for x comma y comma z. I need for the comma terminals. So here I can use L tends to L1 comma ID. So L tends to L1 comma ID. Okay. So here we are having for 3 identifier x comma y comma z. We are using for 3 identifier. Again you can check L tends to L comma ID. Again L can be changed to L comma ID because we are using for 3 identifier. So what is L? L is identifier. Identifier is nothing but x. So x comma here on identifier. And identifier is nothing but y. Another identifier is z. So real x comma y comma z. So this is the inherited attributes. So inherited attribute means it is parent or sibling of that node. But in synthesized attribute, it is the children of the nodes. Okay. So these are both the differentiation for inherited attributes and synthesized attribute. But any attribute you have to construct the parse tree construction based on the context-free grammar. So the context-free grammar can be represent for the production rule. The production rule can be associated with some semantic action. So based on that action only, how to draw for the parse tree constructions. Okay. So this is for inherited attributes and synthesized attributes. So inherited synthesized attributes mean it is representatives of the children of the node. But here in inherited attributes, it is sibling, parent or sibling of that node. Okay. This is for the given construction for inherited attributes and synthesized attributes. Okay. Next thing. So this is for today's topic. So what is this? The conversion of popular programming language construct into intermediate forms. The conversion of popular programming language construct into intermediate code form. Conversion of popular programming language construct into intermediate code form. So how to construct for the given programming language construction? So in that conversion of popular programming language construction, we are having for lot of type for the given string. So the first one is declaration statement. Declaration. Second one, case statement, switch case statement. Next one, procedural calls. Then if then else statements. If then else statements. If then else statement. Then Boolean expression. Boolean expression. Next thing, backpatching technique. Next thing, backpatching technique. Next one, procedure call statements. So these are all the assignment statements. So these are all the common types of conversational popular programming language construction. So the first one is declaration. Second one is assignment statement. Next one is Boolean expression. Next one is case statement. That is switch case statements. Case statement, switch case statement. And the next one is backpatching technique. So backpatching is nothing but it is a advanced of Boolean expression technique. Similar, same that Boolean expression, but it's some advanced to be available for the backpatching techniques. Okay. Next thing, flow of control statement. Then last one is type checking. So these are all the conversion of popular programming language construct into the intermediate code form. So explain the conversion of popular programming language for any three, meaning you have to write for any three statement. Otherwise, in some time in examination, explain the declaration statement for three address code. Explain the declaration statement for intermediate code forms. You got to write for intermediate code. Explain the backpatching, mean you got to write for the backpatching technique. Explain the assignment statement. So depending upon the examination question, you have to represent for the answer. Okay. Depending upon the question pattern, you have to write for the your answer representations. First thing is declaration. So what is declaration form? So what is declaration? So as a sequence of declaration in your procedure, you have to write for the declaration statement. So first we have to create a symbol table entry with the information. So you got to store for in lexical analyzer, we are creating for lexical token, we got to represent for all, everything will be stored from the symbol table. Next thing, syntax analyzer, we got to store for the data, all the data to be represented in the form of parsed construction to be stable from the symbol table. So each and every analysis of phases can be stored from the, each and every analysis of data can be stored from the given symbol table representation only. So in that, for each local name, we create a symbol table entry with the information, that is the type, the information type. So the information of the type can be represented for the each and every value can be represented for the some addresses. So the addresses and type of the representation of the storage can be stored from the symbol table entry. Okay. So here you can check. This is for the symbol production rules. That is P tends to D. P tends to D. So D can be changed to D:D. D can be changed to D:D. D can be changed to D:D. So the D can be either ID, ID of T. So T is either integer or real. T is either integer or real. T is either integer or real. It's correct. T is either integer or real. Then next thing, the T is array of number of T1. The T is array of number of T1. T tends to T1. T is either array of number of T1. T is either array of number of T1. T is T of T. T of T. Okay. Here you can check. You have to declare for the each and every production. You have to declare for the semantic action. So P tends to T mean the offset will be indicate for 0. So the each and every field, the type of field with the relative address of the storage name, you have to store for the symbol table technique, symbol table entry with the information of like the type and address of the given data. Okay. So here enter of ID dot name. So T dot type is offset value. So type will be integer, mean the width of the integer will be equal to 4. Real mean the value will be declared for 8. So similar that you got write for, you got declare for the each and every data type. So you got declare for the each and every data type with the address. With the address of the given information. Okay. So this is for declaration part. This is for declaration part. So in the declaration part, we are having the first declaration is considered offset is set to be 0. The first declaration is considered the offset is set to be 0. So the each name is entered into the symbol table with the offset with the value of the address will be indicated for 0. Okay, that is first thing. Second thing, the procedure enter name, type, offset. Here check the procedure enter ID dot name, T dot type, offset. Here you can check in that symbol table entry, you have to create for the symbol table. All the data can be stored from the symbol table information for all the phases. You have to specify the symbol table entry name. What is the name for symbol table entry? Second thing, you have to specify the type. Which type? Either integer, which data type? Integer, real or character. You have to represent for the data types. Third thing, you have to specify the address of the given data. That is offset values. Okay. Then okay. Next thing, represent. The attribute type is integer or reals. So in that attribute type, it's represent the expression constructed from the basic types. Basic type and basic data types. So the basic data types is either integer or real. So you got to specify the constructor for the pointers and array. You got to specify the representation of either tree representation or graphical representation. It would be represented in the form of graphical representation. Okay, so you got to represent for the attribute type is either you got to represent the attribute type of data type. You got to represent either integer or real. You got to represent. After that, you got to specify the each and every data type width of the each pointer of the data types. Width of the each point of data types. So in the data type, the data type is integer mean the width is 4. The data type is real mean the width is 8. Similar that you got to represent for the translation scheme in declaration part. Translation scheme and declaration part. So this is for the first conversion of popular programming language in intermediate code form. The first one is declaration. So you got to declare for the each and every data type. So based on the data type, you got to represent for the addresses and width of the given types. So the first declaration for the offset will be declared for 0 value. So you got to use for the name. The name is entered into the symbol table entry with the equivalent of the offset value of 0, the data type. You got to specify the data, either integer or real. Okay. So the integer mean the width is for 4, real mean the width is for 8. Similar that you got to represent it. So this is for the first programming language construction of intermediate code form, declaration statement. Okay. What is the next one? Next one is assignment statement. So in that assignment statement, you got to assign for example, you got to assign for E tends to E plus T, E tends to T. So E is assigned to the E plus T. E is the grammar. The grammar can be represented for the production is E plus T or E tends to T. So each and every grammar you got to represent for the some assignment statements. You got to represent for the assignment, assign the some values. So that is nothing but assignment statements. So in that assignment statement, we are having for some production rules. So what is the production rule here? S tends to ID of E. So S tends to ID. ID is assigned to capital E. Then E tends to E1 plus E. E tends to E1 star E. So E is a grammar. The grammar is the production can be associated with E1 plus E2. Next one, E1 star E2, minus of E1, bracket of E1, ID. So you got to, based on the context-free grammar, you got to represent for the some production rule, you got to write it. Okay, but after assigning all the grammar, all the production rules for the given context-free grammar, you got to create for the temporary variables. You got to write for the 3 address code expressions. Okay, you got to write for the 3 address code expressions. So here you can check S tends to ID of E. So P of lookup ID dot name. If P not equal to nil, then emit P equal to E dot place else error. Here you can check. Next one, E will be equal to E1 plus E2. So here E is the assignment statement. The assignment will be equal to the new temp. Temp mean you go to assign for the some temporary variable. Emit. What is emit? I tell. So here emit, that is E dot place will be equal to E1 dot place plus E2 dot place. So each and every grammar with the help of production rule, you got to write for the assignment statements. Next E1 star E2. So E dot place will be equal to E1 dot place into E2 dot place. So first one is indicate for operator will be minus me, it is indicate for U minus. That is U minus. So the left side will be indicate for the context-free grammar of the production rule. The right side will be indicate for the production rule can be associated with some semantic action. But in semantic action, you got to write for the assign some values. Assign for some value, based on the value you got to create for the with the help of 3 address code, you got to write for the temporary variables. Write the 3 address code with temporary variables. So this is for assignment statements. Okay, so here I explain. So what is the emit? Why we are using for emit operation? Emit is the one type of field. Why is the field will be used for the assignment statement? How to represent for the assignment statement in intermediate code forms? How to assign for the assignment statement in intermediate code forms? Okay, so this is for second thing. So with the help of example, with the help of this production rule, we will solve for the one example. Okay, next thing, Boolean expression. So Boolean expression means it will represent for or and not, or and not. Or and not. So here or and not, you got to write. The Boolean expression is either true or false also. So true means what is true, what is false. True means it will be indicate for 1, false means it will be indicate for zeros. So true for 1, false for 0. True for 1, false for 0, you got to write it. Okay. Then ID relation operator means relation operator indicated for less than, equal, greater than, equal, then not equal, you got to write. So this is for the second declaration of the Boolean declaration of the intermediate code forms. Then we will solve for the each and every example of the relation operator. You got to solve for the with the help of production rule with the translation scheme. You got to solve for the given problem. Okay. Next thing, case statement. This is for the switch case statement. So the statement is available. The statement is available. The statement is available in a variety of languages. So you got to write for the switch case statement with the directed translation scheme, syntax directed translation scheme. Based on the syntax directed translation scheme, you got to write for the general format for the got expressions. So this is for the given production rule. This is for the associated with the semantic action. So based on the switch case statement, you got to write for the semantic action. You got to write for the given syntax for the given statements. So similar that you got to write for the backpatching technique, flow of control statement. Next thing, procedure calls. So you got to write for each and every grammar. You got to write for the production rule with the semantic action tables.